My name's Will DeFries, and this is the Sunday Scaries podcast, your cure for the Sunday blues. This week we have a special guest. You may know her from her days working with me, from her viral tweet about Schmidt from New Girl, or from just her incredible recipes. Ladies and gentlemen, Kayla Haby.
Hello.
Welcome, Kayla.
Thanks for having me, Will.
I'm delighted to have you on. I know you said you didn't want to talk about your tweet, but how can we avoid it?
I was on melatonin and I was watching New Girl and I just fired it out, and I don't know how it happened. I really don't.
I saw the tweet early on and laughed because I was like, this is so true.
Probably didn't like it though, did you?
I don't know if I liked it or not. And then I was on my timeline and I was on the Sunday Scaries timeline on that Twitter account, just scrolling one day. And a former guest of mine, Will Bryant, who was on last year, retweeted you.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, hold on, how many retweets does this have? And I saw it early, so it had a couple thousand. How many did you even end up with?
300,000 something casual. Something must have happened because I had a friend over for dinner that night. She got there at 7:30 and it was maybe at 2,000 likes. Mm-hmm. By the time she left, it was at 27,000. And then the next day it was in the 200 somethings, and then it's done now at a cool 320,000 or something.
Yeah, just a
super
very
casual.
Casual 320,000.
Super casual.
Didn't you have another one that went off?
That was 5 years ago, but that one was only 50,000, which is nothing compared to that.
I had one that did not do as well as your Schmidt one.
I couldn't believe it.
And it ruined my notifications on Twitter for a week.
I muted it as soon as it started.
Yep.
What was crazy is the replies to it were going viral too, because people were making up scenarios of because the tweet was about what he would be doing in COVID, and people were replying to it how they thought he would handle it, and then those were going viral. And I really wanted Max Greenfeld to reply to the tweet, but
did he never do anything?
No, that was would have been really cool, but no, we didn't.
That's understandable. But Kayla, we're not here to talk about Twitter viralness. We're here to talk about your new venture, endeavor. What would you call it?
Quarantine boredom project.
There's a lot of people out there who start websites, start their little things, start whatever. When I saw that you were doing this, the first thing I thought of was just okay, thank God she's doing this. This makes all the sense in the world because Kayla's one of the best. I mean, you used to bring food in. I've seen everything you make on Instagram. Would you consider yourself a chef, a baker? What do you even call yourself?
I consider myself primarily a baker. Baking is where I am most comfortable and where I think I'm most skilled. Cooking is something that I kind of got into after college when I was kind of thrown into the wild. But yeah, I mean, chef, amateur chef.
Okay.
Home chef.
So, I mean, was it the quarantine that made you decide, okay, I want to take this passion of mine and actually create something out of it?
So people always reply to anything I post, with what's the recipe, la, 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 and a lot of times I don't follow the recipe. So me sending this, pot roast, and then they try to make it, it's not how I would like them to make it, so I was just getting tired of being here's a recipe, but do this, 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 don't add this, make sure you do this. It was getting exhausting, and so I just decided one day I was sitting on the couch and it just was 10:30 at night, and it clicked in my head and I was just do it. So I got up and bought the domain.
And then, so what is the domain so people know?
The Bitchin Chef.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the Instagram at so people also know that?
The Bitchin Chef.
Perfect. So when you had that kind of moment, that light bulb moment, what was the first step you took?
So I had already had an Instagram account that I had. It was a ghost account because I would use it to post pictures of food just because I was bored and I needed somewhere to put them. A few people found it, which I don't know how, and started following it, people I knew. And then I just cleaned everything off of it, deleted every single picture. And then the original handle I had was that pasta bitch, because I make a lot of pasta. And then this is kind of funny, but I was a little drunk on my birthday with a bunch of friends, and we were talking about it, and we all had a serious heart-to-heart about this. They were you've put yourself in a corner with the pasta bitch. You do so much more than that. So we started brainstorming ideas. We came up with Bitchin Chef. It was available. So I had the Instagram handle. When I decided to make it a full blog, the first thing I did was see if the domain was available.
Yeah.
I just Googled how to make a website.
How do domains work?
And I read a couple reviews on a few sites, settled on one. I do use WordPress. I don't know if anyone even knows what that means, but that's what I do. It's so much easier. And I made the website myself, which the only help I got was with the logo, which was from Ricky.
I was wondering. It had Ricky vibes, so I was wondering about that.
Brett put me in touch with him, and he did an amazing job. Shout out to Ricky if you need him. He's amazing.
Oh, Ricky's hooked us up with a lot.
He turned it over so quickly, and I tried making one on my own, and I was so overwhelmed because I needed like a little emblem of some kind. So like the hand holding like the knife and everything with like, well, back before quarantine, I always had like dark fingernail polish, and now that I don't have
that was the first thing I noticed on the logo. I was like, of course there's black nail polish on this. It's very me.
Yes. Like, and everyone was like, why don't you make it red? I'm like, because I would never have red nails. It's supposed to be my hand, and I wanted a knife in the picture too, which was like, he kept sending me like a spoon and a whisk, and I was like, give me a big sharp knife.
I need the knife.
Yeah.
Just essentially take the knife emoji and
once
put it in your hands.
The logo, I started posting stuff more gradually. I started working on recipes. I wanted to have a solid like 20 to 30 things before I launched it to my friends, just so that I wasn't going to be killing myself trying to post to it and keep it updated. And there was already kind of like a little bit of stuff to go off of. I wanted like one thing per category.
Okay, that makes sense. When I first started Sunday Scaries, I didn't even tell my friends because I was scared of like, I told very close friends, but I didn't like make some announcement to people because I was just scared that they would think I was like just going to do this random thing and then never follow up on it. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be better if people just find this organically. And whenever I see like, sometimes if I see like an online acquaintance, like a Twitter friend or something like that, launch something, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait about a month to follow this because I'm not really sure they have the follow through.
They're going to keep going, yeah.
But then when you announced what you were doing, I was just like, okay, these recipes look awesome. I'm 100% following this immediately.
Okay, good. Well, I worried about that too. That was one of my main concerns, was that like the first few weeks I'd be super excited about it and then I would get overwhelmed, which is why I wanted to have stuff ready to go so that if like on a, it's been 2 days since I posted, I'll just do what I already have. So I don't have to like cook something and do all of that. So it was just way easier to have kind of like a catalog already there, ready to go. But what I found myself doing was I had to go back and remake a bunch of food to take better photos of it. So a bunch of things too, I thought, if I already have a somewhat decent photo of this, I'm just putting it on there because I don't want to like, I'm making all this food and I live by myself. So like,
what do you do with all the food that you have extra?
I eat a lot of it. Okay. I deliver it to people. My leasing office gets some. Any excuse I have to go somewhere, like I will show up right now. Anywhere I go, I'm showing up with something.
I mean, you brought in some scones and fig jam for me, I cannot wait to go home and eat dinner and then just eat 2 of them.
They're very good, actually.
How did you learn how to cook and bake?
So my mom was pretty big in the kitchen growing up. She was a big baker. A bunch of recipes I posted are actually like family recipes, which are really important. And I just kind of picked up on it, and I always had an interest in it. And then in high school, I took a culinary arts class, which, funny enough, actually counted as gym credit.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know how
that sounds great.
I don't know how that canceled out because all I did was eat. And that's how I learned a lot of other things, like more cooking skills. And then after high school, I worked in a cupcake bakery for about 2 years. So that's where I learned like more decorating, baking, things of that nature. So
yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. And I watch a lot of Food Network. Like I was raised by the Food Network, Ina Garten and all those people.
What did they call you in college with the cupcakes?
A cupcake girl.
And you just brought cupcakes everywhere.
I would show up to parties with 24 cupcakes.
We had a friend who worked in a bakery, and she would bring stuff to parties all the time. And it was just the greatest thing in the world when she showed up. It was like, yes, I will have a blueberry bagel at 11:30 at night right now.
Oh yeah, I'd get off work at like 9:30, and like whatever cupcakes did not sell that day, like were either thrown away, or if they were somewhat fresh, like made the end of the night, they would be put in a container. But usually I would just take all of them home, and then I'd go to parties and just take all of the boxes with me.
That sounds like a good deal.
It was a great deal.
How have you gone about developing the recipes? I know you said family recipes and things like that, but I mean, in order to differentiate yourself, you kind of have to have some kind of flair to the stuff.
There's a few things I post where like if I haven't really changed much of it, I'll just credit the person I made it from and just I retype the recipe with my tips and tricks for certain things. Like of course I'm a big Chrissy Teigen fan, so there's a bunch of her stuff on there, but I I work through it a little easier with like people that may not be as familiar with what I'm doing or how to cook and bake. So developing is pretty much like if there's an idea that I really want to run with. Like I've been working on a lemon bar recipe, for example.
Okay.
And
you have my attention.
There's really nothing. All lemon bars pretty much are exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I would go through every single lemon bar recipe I could find and try to figure out like what can I do that's different than all of these. So that's kind of how but I'll use like a base for that, and then I'll either add or subtract something that I think would make it better.
Okay.
I won't tell you what I did to my lemon bars yet because I haven't posted them. But
Okay. That's a deal. You and I have something in common.
Okay.
And it's kind of random that I've even had this happen, but you mentioned Chrissy Teigen.
That's my girl.
She's definitely reposted two things that we've made. Hasn't she reposted stuff that you've made?
Oh, yeah. She retweeted one of my pastas once, which was really exciting for me.
Yeah,
I'm a fangirl.
She originally had me blocked on Twitter for some reason.
I forgot
and I just still don't really know why. And one day, actually not one day, it was Thanksgiving, and we were making her scallop potato recipe.
They're so good.
And I was just like, okay, I'm tweeting this at her because this looks amazing. And she followed me and reposted, and I was like,
she
all right,
followed you?
Now I'm friends with Chrissy Teigen.
Okay, well, that's really exciting. She has never actually replied to me before until a couple weeks ago. I replied to her about her pan, one of her pans on her Target line, because it is my favorite pan ever. And I told her I loved it, and she said thank you. And I was like, how exciting. I love her. I do.
When it comes to celebrity chefs or like the Food Network, like you said, I don't know if you draw inspiration from it, but like who are you most entertained by? Who do you like watching on these things?
Well, why I like Chrissy is like she likes the same food that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like gross, like not good for you in any way. And she kind of does what I do is she likes to take normal things and make them a little funkier. Like the other day I made like the Fruity Pebbles cheesecake, which was fun. Like just it's something that you wouldn't think of. It's something everybody loves and something everyone loves. So you just combine those two things.
Like granola and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, which I actually got that idea I stopped at a gas station on the way to the lake, and they had a granola with peanut butter and jelly sandwich with granola in it. And it was the best thing.
Sally used to work for a hospital, and they served those in the cafeteria.
With the granola?
Yes. And so she would bring home those for me at night, and I would just like at 10:30 at night, I'd just be sitting in the kitchen like eating a peanut butter and jelly with granola. And then I looked at how many calories were in it, and I was like,
that.
oh my.
You have to let it kind of sit and let the granola get a little soft.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so good. That changed my life.
Oh, inherently it has to sit because she would bring it home from the hospital, and then it'd be like dinner time. And then it'd be like 10:30, and that's when I would just start hammering
The best PB&Js are the ones that are kind of smushed. Like, I think back to, like, carrying them in my backpack in school, and, like, they've been in there all day, and then by the time you get to lunch, they're kind of smushed, and that's when they're the best.
Like the jelly's on the precipice of, like, almost bleeding
it's like
through
the
bread.
bread's kind of see-through.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Is there anybody else that you watch or follow? Any shows?
Barefoot Contessa. I'm a big Ina Garten fan. I went and saw her live, actually. She did, like, it sounds kind of silly.
Like crowd surf
She
and stuff?
did like a Q&A. Yes, she rapped for everybody. I just love her because she is so fancy and like she kind of shames you into not being as fancy and rich as she is, which is the best. I love Top Chef on Bravo. MasterChef is fun because it's home cooked. So you're seeing people just like you going and cooking for Gordon Ramsay, which is like insane.
I've heard that I need to start watching Top Chef, and I've just never.
You've never watched Top Chef?
No.
They're all on Hulu.
I started recording it, but I never went all in. And it's something I did enjoy it. Like I need to go all in on it because I think I'd really enjoy it.
It's really good. I love that show. Those are like legitimate chefs though, like Michelin star chefs.
Yeah.
So it gets intense. It's really good though. I highly recommend that one.
I feel so basic whenever I make something, and it's mainly like meat or something like that. Like if I do duck or if I do steak in a cast iron.
Completely opposite.
Everyone always thinks people are like, "What's where's the recipe?" And then I'm just like, "Well, I just kind of watched the Gordon Ramsay video on YouTube 5 minutes ago, and then I just went and did it." Like it's not that
YouTube
that hard.
is a great help if you don't know how to do something.
Oh, it's phenomenal, especially for. I mean, I'm not a great chef necessarily. But the one thing I do like to pride myself on is that I can cook a piece of meat properly.
I can't see. I'm really bad at meat.
Sally is also.
I don't have a lot of protein.
I think you and Sally are probably similar because she overcooks every piece of meat, which is why I was like, okay, I need to start taking over and doing this.
Yes.
But she can bake or cook everything else perfectly. So it's just kind of.
Like you're not going to see me posting like a chicken breast recipe. Like that's just not going to happen.
Did you watch the Great British Baking Show? Or is
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that show. Oh my God, that's my favorite.
Do you have a favorite person that's ever been on it?
That's ever been on it? Oh gosh, I don't know if I can remember any names. I did love the one last season. There was that one guy. I can't remember his name. He was younger, and he made it through way too many episodes where he it was like they picked a random guy off the street and were like, here.
He was always really stressed out.
He like set things on fire.
Yes.
And I think, what was his name? He was younger. He like had a twin brother. He was probably the funniest. I did love, I think his name was Michael on the last episode. Last season. He had glasses.
Was he like really, really good?
They were, yes.
There was one guy who was like far and away better.
They were like.
Yes, Michael has the glasses. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then there was the other one who was a little bit more like timid. He was a smaller build. He was a little guy. He was the best. I always love the random like grandpa on the show.
They're always really good at bread.
They are. It's always like someone's grandpa who is like the showstopper. I just used a term on accident. I didn't even mean to.
Yeah.
No, and I'm really upset because the hosts will be changing because Sandy left.
Sandy left?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
upset.
man. What's taking so long for them to release a show? This show
just filmed it. I read that. The one thing I learned about that show, which blew my mind, is that they don't like put them all in a house and like they don't stay there.
No, they go home.
They go home and come back.
They have to go develop their stuff and do stuff.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe that when I read that.
Well, but for the new season, I think they did quarantine them.
Okay.
But I just don't understand. Like, this seems like the perfect show to churn out a bunch of episodes of over quarantine.
We should have no less than 1,000 episodes of this show.
It's so annoying.
Also, I just get super stressed out watching that show, knowing, like, as a baker, like, how much the weather really plays a part in what you're doing. And they always give them, like, chocolate week when it's, like, super humid outside and they need to temper chocolate.
Oh, and they're, like, trying to put it in the fridge. Like, the fridge.
It gives me so much secondhand stress. I can't even watch it.
My favorites of all time, and they're the only two I follow on Instagram, and I always like comment on their posts whenever they're together because I get really excited, are Martha and Chetna.
Okay, I would need pictures because I don't remember anybody's
Martha
names.
was she was one of the youngest ones of her season.
How long ago was this?
One of the first seasons.
Okay,
and
I may not
then
remember.
Chetna was better known as the flavor queen.
The flavor queen.
She would do a lot of Indian dishes and things like that, and her food just looked incredible. I think Sally gave me her cooking.
I would need to.
Cookbook.
I got a book from my mom for my birthday of all the recipes, and I also have a what is her name? Mary Berry's cookbook.
I have Mary Berry's cookbook.
Yeah.
I've never made anything out of it. But
I
it's
don't
just
want
sitting there.
to because it's like I don't know. I would need an occasion to like whip up some kind of like sponge fancy cake thing. Like I don't have occasions for that. That's kind of like way too fancy for me. I can do like a French macaroon and all that stuff, but like that's too fancy for me.
I just need that show to come back so I can remember all the terms that they use for it.
I can't remember which one I liked the most. I do like Michael, the one with the glasses. And then there was Rosie.
Yes. She was very good.
She had the bangs.
Mm-hmm.
She was very cute.
She was very
good. Her.
We inherently liked her just because our dog's name is Rosie,
That
but we
makes
were big
sense.
Rosie fans.
Yeah, I can't get over. I remember the bangs. That's like the one thing that sticks in my mind.
Can we do some go-to recipes?
Okay.
What's your go-to recipe for a night when you're like, I don't want to cook anything, but I need something good for dinner?
Okay, everyone's going to hate me for this because to other people, this would be like a super gourmet, like,
Flex on them,
can't
Kayla.
wait to whip this up. So my 3 go-tos are going to be pastas.
Mm-hmm.
I won't hand make the pasta if it's like a Monday, but I have
Where do you
before.
get pasta from if you don't home make it?
I just buy it at like a Whole Foods. I'm a big Bonza pasta fan because I feel really like not guilty about it. It's the chickpea pasta.
Oh, I've never tried it.
To me, it tastes the best out of all the like alternative pastas.
Okay.
And it does make you feel like guilt-free. But I'll do a carbonara or a vodka sauce or a cacio e pepe.
I had a feeling that 2 of those were going to be on there.
So the one thing that I think I've done a pretty good job of is adapting those pasta recipes like for one person, like 1 to 2 people, because if I make a huge bowl of it, I will eat all of it. So I've kind of taught myself how to cook it for like 1 super big bowl or like 2 like medium-sized portions, which I think it's kind of unheard of because a lot of times you make a recipe and it makes it for like 12 people.
Yeah.
And people like me who live alone, or people like you who it's like just you and Sally, you don't need to make all that food, and you don't want to overeat either. So you make one huge thing. You're going to be sitting there with the fork eating at the stove.
Oh yeah, I
day.
take like the other night we made carbonara. We actually made it. Like Sunday night or something. I had it for dinner, and then it got later in the night, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go eat some more carbonara.
Eat more of it.
And I was like, oh great, I just had 3 bowls of carbonara.
I try to do like no leftovers for that stuff, because also that stuff isn't good leftover. No one wants to eat a carbonara the next day because it's like made with eggs, and that just kind of freaks me out.
Like raw egg too.
And it's not the only one of those 3 that's pretty good leftover is like a vodka sauce. So.
Do you have any other easy meals that aren't pasta that you go to?
Easy meals. One thing I learned, I was surprised to learn, wasn't hard at all, was a butter chicken, which is like an Indian dish with rice. It's super easy. It is like one of the easiest things I've ever made. It has a lot of like fancy ingredients, but that should not intimidate anybody because it's super easy. You just marinate the chicken and then you just cook it with like tomato and cream. It's so easy.
Part of the reason I like seeing your recipes is because they are just like honest recipes, whereas a lot of these people that are trying to do like the healthier alternative things,
I'm
like,
that.
oh my God, I'm not going to go to the spice section and like scour this for 2 hours trying to find the weird spices or whatever you want. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I'm not going to show you, here's my healthy enchiladas. Like, I'm going to show you here are these enchiladas. I put 1 pound of cheese on top of them. There's cream in the sauce. Like, sorry, like, do with it what you will.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you're not that person. What's your go-to dinner party recipe?
So again, pasta, but homemade. I'd make the noodles, like a lasagna, bolognese. Yeah, probably something like that.
How intimidated should I be to make my own pasta?
It is not that hard at all.
I'm so scared to do it, but I see all these people doing it online. And the people that I see doing it online, I have respect for in the kitchen, but I just am scared.
It's not scary. So I got a pasta maker for Christmas like maybe 3 years ago. I used it one time and it was just so much work because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I made it harder than it was. So I was kind of scared of it for a while. Then last summer, me and my cousin were in Florence and I made her go with me to take a pasta class because I wanted like an actual like legitimate Italian woman to show me how to do this. And so that night was probably the most fun that we had like on our trip. It was amazing. And she taught us how to do it like clean, easy, simple. And so after doing that, like I really like honed the skill. I feel like I could do it with my eyes closed and it's super easy. Once you do it 2 or 3 times and you figure out exactly how it needs to be done, it's so easy. And I have a whole tutorial on my Instagram on a highlight page, like
I need to go check
how
that
to do
out
it.
then.
But I haven't showed rolling it out yet. I've only shown like how to get the dough where it needs to be.
Okay.
So I need to make some again so I can kind of show other ways. And you can make it without a pasta roller either. It's just not going to be the same. But it's really not hard.
Okay. Maybe I'll dive in this weekend. I have absolutely no plans, and with this cold front coming in, it might be perfect.
Exactly.
What about an appetizer? If you're going to someone's party and you need to bring an appetizer, what is like the number one thing?
Something. Okay. Oh, that's kind of hard. I like a fun dip. Like maybe a whipped ricotta or like a marinated burrata.
Okay.
I'm really into figs right now, so like a prosciutto wrapped fig is really good. But if I'm going somewhere, I probably wouldn't take that because they need to be like served right out of the oven, so they're crispy.
Sally went to the store today, and she got prosciutto, and she said they were out of figs.
They were out of figs everywhere. So your fig jam is like maybe the last figs in Austin.
I might just dip prosciutto in the fig jam and call it good.
If I'm hosting, I'd probably make a salad and some kind of bread for an appetizer, like a pull-apart garlic bread or something. But if I'm going somewhere, that's a little tricky. I don't know. You don't
socialize?
I don't feel like people will invite me to dinner parties because they think that I won't like their food.
I mean, that's...
No one wants to cook for me.
That's kind of awesome. I kind of like that. I've shut down a bar with you before.
Oh, God.
I know you've probably had a hangover in your life. What's your hungover brunch order if you're out at a restaurant?
Okay, so I don't usually go out in public when I'm hungover. That's more of like a inside, lights off kind of ordeal. Mm-hmm. But if I'm hungover, I'm going to Whataburger. Mm-hmm. Like that's just what's happening.
I had a feeling you were going to pivot to that.
That's what's happening. I'm a Whataburger fangirl. It's my favorite restaurant, and I don't care what anybody says.
What do you order from there? Do you
hungover,
go in the morning or do you go in the afternoon so you can get lunch?
It just really depends. If I'm hungover and like I'm miserable, I'm gonna like maybe favor it.
Oh man,
which I've done before.
It's like you can throw a baseball from anywhere in Austin and
I have been to Whataburger full on in my robe and slippers, like in the drive-thru. Like don't even put pants on. I straight up robe it up, go through the drive-thru. If it's brunch, if it's before 11, I'm doing taquitos,
Mm-hmm.
honey butter chicken biscuit.
Okay.
With a jalapeno biscuit.
Okay.
That's the game
I didn't know
changer.
you could do that.
Oh, yeah. If I'm going after 11, I'm doing a number 1, cheese. Yes, I know.
Do you
the
have
numbers.
the entire menu memorized?
I mean, not really. You could test me, but I wouldn't know. And so I do my burger with only cheese and that creamy pepper sauce, because that creamy pepper sauce is so good.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are like the only things I get. I did recently discover the grilled chicken sandwich from there, which is really, really good.
We don't go there often.
It's the best. I was going when I was trying to figure out what to make to bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
I went through our Instagram DMs to see if I can find something that you maybe had replied to.
Oh.
And I found a message from you like, "Hey, I'm going to Whataburger."
What do I need to get?
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably the person I trust most.
I love it. I haven't been in a really long time, honestly, just because like I'm trying to be healthy.
We would try. The only reason that we would ever go is if we were hungover and we'd go get breakfast, or if we were drunk and we had our Uber driver like drive us through. But now we don't really go out and sit in Ubers anymore.
So what I used to do when the app came out, I'd order it on my phone, and so then like when you're on your way home in the Uber, you just order it and then you go and pick it up, so you don't sit in the drive-through.
That's the move.
That's like a serious like loser.
Did you get the sneakers? The Whataburger sneakers? Didn't they come out
No,
with
I
those?
did not get the sneakers.
Why didn't you
I
get the
have a
sneakers?
beach towel of the French fries.
You've got the Yeti.
I don't have the Yeti.
You don't have the Yeti?
No, I have one Yeti, and you only need one Yeti, in my opinion. I'm not like the person that walks around.
You're like the only person in Texas that has that take, because I think I tweeted something about it one time. I just like found a picture online of like a cupboard filled with Yetis.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every single house I go to in Texas, you're
Not
like,
me.
hey, can I get a glass of water? And then you open it and like a bunch of Yetis just fall out.
I have my big Yeti, like that I drink water from. Then I have my like small one for coffee.
Okay.
I was at a friend's house on Sunday, and I opened his drawer, and it was a drawer full of Yeti lids. Like the whole drawer was devoted to lids.
We have a
nothing
shelf.
else.
We have a shelf that just has a bunch of Yeti lids on it, and like half the time they fall over when you open the cupboard.
I have 2. I may have 3. I may have an extra coffee one. That usually would be at my desk, but no work.
Yeah, I mean, you're
so.
working from home now.
Yeah.
All right, final go-to thing before we
Okay.
have to pause for a quick break. What's your go-to pizza order?
Pizza. Okay, so if I'm ordering like Domino's or like some cheap, to-go pizza, I'm doing jalapenos and pepperoni only. That's it. Well, cheese and sauce. If I'm at like a nice like brick oven, like nice pizza place, I would like to do something that has like a chili oil or like a sopressata.
Okay.
That's probably it. I don't know exactly the names of these at different restaurants, but something that has those things.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The other night we got a pizza that you would probably like.
Buffalina.
We went to Pine House and we just got. We got pepperoni.
I've had one from Pine House that has all those things.
Yeah, and then we got the honey.
Honey, chili oil, anything that has that on it, I'm sold.
It's just great.
I'm not like what is the one that only has basil and mozzarella? Margarita, I'm not doing that. I don't really like sausage on my pizza. A veggie pizza is offensive to me, so I want absolutely no vegetables on that.
I like having vegetables on it, but I definitely like having protein on it.
Not me. Well, just protein, no veggies. Jalapenos count though.
Jalapenos count. This week's episode is presented by Roman. Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Usually we just brush it off or blame ourselves, saying things like, I just lost my mojo. Or people avoid it altogether with excuses like, I had a long day at work, or sorry, honey, I'm just not feeling it. But with Roman, it's easy to talk about it with a healthcare professional who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and most of all, discreet. Getting started is even simpler. You just go to getroman.com/scaries and complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Complete an online visit today and connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to getroman.com/scaries today. If approved, you'll get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. That's getroman.com/scaries. getroman.com/scaries. If you need a link to that, it's in the description of this episode. But now, let's ask Kayla some traditional Sunday questions.
I love that I'm coming back on after the erectile dysfunction.
Welcome.
That was incredible.
Thank you. Kayla, what is your ideal Sunday outfit?
Okay, so I'm a huge robe girl. Everyone knows it about me. I have like 12 robes. I think I've gotten 4 new robes in quarantine. So usually a robe, preferably.
Do you like a
robe.
plush robe or like a thinner
Oh,
one?
I have all of them.
Okay.
I have a terry cloth one. I have 2 super fuzzy ones. I have a silk one. I have a like a fuzzy blanket material one. I have one that's a go-to. It's like a light blue leopard print furry robe that's like past your knees. It's my go-to. That's my Whataburger drive-through robe.
When you go to a hotel, is the first thing you do like open the?
I won't go to a hotel unless there's a robe. I call in advance.
The best gift I've ever given Sally was a robe from a hotel that you could buy in the gift shop.
That's a great gift.
She's like, it's the best gift you've ever gotten me.
It's a great gift. And also, being in weddings, bridesmaid gifts are always robes. So I've acquired like a very diverse set of robes.
When we were on vacation, we went to a hotel and they had the nicest robes that I've ever experienced. And it never even occurred to me to go try to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
And they started selling them online during quarantine.
Most hotels do sell their
Well, this
stuff
one was
online.
international, so I was like, I don't know if they're going to want to ship it over here. And so I was like kind of just bummed. And I kind of planted the seed with Sally, hoping that she might, get it for me for a gift or something. Never happened. And now they don't sell them online anymore because they're back opened up.
I guess you need to go on vacation again and
I
buy
know.
one.
I'm 100% doing it if we go over there.
Well, aside from robes, I'm going to be a little ashamed to admit this, but I've gotten very into Kim Kardashian Skins line.
I hate that I know this, but I've heard good things.
I hate that I own it. So my cousin is like a diehard Kardashian girl, and she told me about it and sent me pictures, and I felt it. I'm like, I need that. So they were all sold out. So I signed up in April. I signed up for the wait list.
Mm-hmm.
They emailed me, and the next day I was ready to go. I bought the pants, I bought the shorts. They do have a robe, but I'm going to wait because it's really hot material. So I don't need that until it gets colder. I did not buy any of the other stuff, but I will be buying another pair of the shorts because they are incredible.
Maybe I'll buy some triple XLs or something.
Never gotten so many compliments on a pair of shorts, ever. Everywhere I go, if I wear them in public, at least one person will ask me about them.
Shout out Kim.
Seriously, I'm ashamed.
Rest in
I'm
peace.
super
Rest
ashamed.
in peace, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
But they're so comfortable. Highly recommend.
Did you watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
In high school and college.
I feel like you would just beef with them because it's not on Bravo.
I mean, a big Bravo girl, but I love early Kardashians. Once they became actual celebrities, it just got really less exciting. Because then it's produced and too fake, and they have these images that they want to uphold. So after the Chris Humphries stuff, I'm over it. Before that, though.
I forgot he existed until you mentioned his name.
So did I, honestly. How I remembered it, I don't even know.
Next one.
Okay.
Do you drink coffee, and if so, how do you take it?
I am obsessed with coffee. I brought a coffee here.
I was going to say, I didn't need to ask you if you drink it.
So I just got a cold brew, and I had them add a pumpkin spice pump to it, so it's not a PSL.
Okay.
I don't like lattes. I just like regular coffee. I'm a drip coffee gal, iced coffee, cold brew.
Well, what's lattes is just so much milk.
I don't like
espresso.
I'm not a big a latte is just steamed milk, which I don't love milk to begin with. So iced coffee and drip coffee, I'm going splash of almond milk, 1 Splenda.
Okay.
Very simple.
That sounds pretty tasty.
I'm obsessed with coffee, though. It's really bad.
How do you take your eggs in the morning?
So this is going to be controversial. I'm not a big egg fan.
Not that controversial.
I only like eggs scrambled.
Really?
If I'm this is very offensive to a lot of people. If I order an Eggs Benedict, I ask them to scramble the eggs.
Yeah, I can see why that's controversial.
But I love an Eggs Benedict, and I hate eggs where it runs. A fried egg, a poached egg, I cannot. If someone cuts an egg in front of me and all that yellow drips out, I will gag.
I like it when it runs just on my plate.
Ugh.
But if I see somebody posting a boomerang of an egg breaking,
it's disgusting.
I'll unfollow you.
It's disgusting.
Don't show me that on your timeline. It's weird.
It's so gross. On Sunday, Sunday I actually went out to what I would say, I guess, a brunch for the first time since quarantine. I had family in town, and I ordered a chilaquiles, and I forgot to tell them scrambled eggs, and they brought me 2 fried eggs, and I just didn't want to send it back, so I just ate the chips with the beans.
That's not a bad move.
And I felt so bad, and then when the waitress came to take the plate, I was like, I'm not some kind of weirdo. I just forgot to mention that to you, so I didn't eat the eggs. I'm sorry.
I I would never send anything back. And
I just can't do it, especially in like this time. Like I'm not going to be that person, so I just ate the chips.
So here's a scenario for you.
Okay.
It's Sunday night. It's like 8 p.m. Nothing's on TV. There's like no award shows on. Like all the reruns are just crap.
Funny you said award shows because that's my favorite season.
Oh, I mean, like when there's award shows on, it's
I don't know
like,
what
you're
I'm
just
even
watching
gonna
that.
do.
So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I just need to go back into the archive. What is your go-to Sunday movie that
I can't believe that you're even asking me this because everyone knows it's The Holiday.
I mean, The Holiday is phenomenal.
Today. I watched
really?
it. I watched it today.
The Holiday is phenomenal.
I was going through these questions and I just immediately was The Holiday, and then I said, I'm going to put that on. It's cold.
Do you like own it on iTunes or anything?
Yeah, I bought it on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I own 3 movies on Amazon. They are The Holiday, Family Stone, phenomenal
so good.
Christmas movie, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is maybe my favorite movie of all time. But
that's a good 3 rotation to own.
There's like one really random one, but the other 2 are the same. You know, Holiday. I mean, I just love that movie. I can watch it 100 times a day.
I had never seen Family Stone until we were on a flight, and Sally was like, she's like, let's watch Family Stone.
I saw that in theaters.
It's kind of stressful. I feel bad for Sarah Jessica Parker the entire time.
I do too, and I've decided that during Christmas time, I'm going to post a strata recipe based on that movie.
Okay. I
won't spill it all down my front.
I'm in on that.
I don't even know what a strata is, but I'm going to develop one.
She was just trying so hard, and no one would give her any
love. She's the worst
love.
Character in the whole movie, though. You have
she
to give her
is,
that.
but you feel bad for her because you don't want anything. You don't want this awkwardness. They're so mean to her.
They are mean to her.
Then she just puts her foot in her mouth.
They didn't want to like her.
True.
And I've spent my whole life thinking that I wasn't the Amy of my family, which is Rachel McAdams' character. But every time I watch that back, she's just sitting there judging everybody with a cup of coffee and a robe, just like a total bitch.
Yeah, Kayla, I got bad news for you.
You're
definitely the Amy.
My
of that
brother
movie.
would strangle me if I said I wasn't the Amy. I am the Amy, I have a small family, so hopefully I won't ever have to deal with that madness. And I would totally be the one that hates my brother's girlfriend to the point of making her stay at a hotel.
Yes.
Like that would happen.
Yeah. I would be afraid to introduce a new significant other to you if I were your brother.
Yeah. One time he's going to hate me for saying this, and I don't know if these things are correlated, but he brought a new girlfriend over and I met her, and then the next day she broke up with him.
Oh, good.
We don't know if it was because of me, but that happened. True story.
50% chance. If I opened your refrigerator right now, what would I find?
So I have a lot of random stuff in there right now. So the other day, H-E-B had buy 2 for $5 almond milk. So I randomly have like 4 things of almond milk in my fridge. I'm on like a snacking pickles phase right now. I have maybe 1,000 different types of condiments, a fuck ton of butter. Sorry. Hopefully I'm allowed to curse here. Okay. Let's see.
Butter's one of those things whenever I go to the store, I just grab some because I'm like,
we're
going to use it.
So much butter because I only like to bake with the butter I get at H-E-B. And I only go to H-E-B like maybe once every couple weeks because it's far for me to go. So I just stock up on butter. I randomly have like sour cream, cream cheese, minced garlic,
you probably have one of the more full
leftovers.
fridges of people just because you do so much cooking at home, whereas a lot of people are like, I don't know, like...
I used to not. I usually only buy stuff when I need it. So, like, 6 months ago, if you open my fridge, I would maybe have, like, milk and, like, a jar of mayonnaise. Like, I'd have nothing.
It's like a New York City fridge. I just imagine everyone's fridge in New York City is empty outside of, like, a takeout container that has mold in it, a bottle of champagne, and like milk that doesn't get used.
When I lived in Dallas like 5 years ago, my best friend, I had her go to my apartment to like feed my cat back when I had one. And at the time, they opened my fridge, and all I had in there was randomly a bunch of Rockstar energy drinks because I had gotten them for free from work. And so she's like, we opened your fridge, and you had nothing but like 10 Rockstar.
That's not a great look.
No, and they were like all different flavors. And she's like, we were really upset. Like, why do you have that? And like, I've never even drank a Rockstar probably in my whole life. But when it's free, I was like, oh, I'll maybe drink these one day.
I'll have a Rockstar.
So I took like 12. And they were just in my fridge. So
this might be a stressful question, one that a lot of people don't want to answer. What's your iPhone screen time looking like these days?
Oh, probably like at least 8 hours. I'm not proud of that.
No, I mean, at least you answered honestly. A lot of people don't give me a straight answer on this one.
I won't even look at it right now because that's embarrassing. Because I've started playing this stupid game my best friend got me into called Design Home, where you like design rooms. They like give you like you have to use like a green couch and like a metal table, and then you and all it's yeah. I'll spend like 6 hours on that game.
That sounds kinda nice.
I spend real money on it, Will.
Why?
I buy.
You're just like creating fake homes for people?
So you can buy stuff with dollars, which are really easy to accumulate. Or you can buy stuff with diamonds, which are not easy. And so I buy the diamonds. You can buy like 3,000 for like $1. And then sometimes they'll release packs of like items where it's like paintings, rugs, accessories for like $3. Mm-hmm. So I'll buy those. I bought a pack today.
I like that you're just sitting there like gaming.
Oh, I've never played a game on my phone ever. But she was always playing this stupid game, and I was like, what's that? So I got it, and now I'm addicted.
I could see myself getting into that.
It's so bad. But the worst part is all the furniture on there is real furniture. So you can click it, and it'll take you to it. Whenever I drive by West Elm, I'm like, oh, I have that couch. I have that table in the game, like not in real life.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Speaking of tables, what's on your bedside table?
Okay, so I looked at this before I left my house because I'm going to be extremely honest here. I have a big thing of melatonin gummies, a lip mask, like just a chapstick, a big cup of my Yeti, my one Yeti with my water.
I always have my Yeti on the table, and then I take 2 sips of it at night, and then I go to the next morning, and like all the ice is melted.
But
and
it's still cold.
Dust. It's still cold. Still cold.
I have a succulent that's dying. And what else did I have on there? I completely forgot about this. Oh, a lavender spritz for my pillows.
That sounds nice.
Super fancy, I know.
Sounds nice.
And a peppermint oil rolling stick for if you have a headache.
That sounds like something I need.
Yeah, you put it on your temples. It's really nice.
One of our sponsors is called Omax, and it's a CBD roll-on thing with cooling in it. And
it has a cooling effect, the peppermint stick.
Oh, I mean, like, I'll just be laying in bed and I'll just reach over and grab it and just put it on my neck and like some on my chest, and I just sit there and just inhale it all in.
Yes, that's what this is. That reminds me of like Vicks.
Oh yeah, no, it's exactly like that. It actually
not so sticky and it like.
Yeah, it just like, but it actually helps your muscles and stuff. And I'm like, this stuff is great.
I haven't gotten into CBD yet, just because there are so many different kinds and brands and types of it that I get super overwhelmed whenever I look into it.
It's a lot.
So I would need someone to gift it to me for me to get into it.
Maybe I can give you a stick of Omax sometime in exchange for the scones you gave me.
Okay.
All right, last question.
Okay.
What does your ideal Sunday consist of?
See, this is tricky. I thought about this a lot because it can go one of two ways. Like, one way, I want to lay in bed as long as I possibly can and just maybe get a coffee and then lay in bed some more. Like, get bed sores to the point of, like, I don't want to move. Mm-hmm. Or I want to get up and like run errands, like maybe go for a run or for a walk, like cook something. I just like it varies. So I can't answer that because it just depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd say with the weather getting nice, like I say nice because it's getting cold. It's not 100 degrees.
Oh, I'm in alignment with your thinking here.
I want to go out and like put on a sweater and like feel the brisk
just go do something
air. Yeah, so run errands, but there's not really errands to run anymore because I don't really like going anywhere. Yeah, that's probably it. But coffee is definitely involved. Lots of television, lots of Real Housewives reruns, probably maybe The Holiday, and maybe some form of pastry.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it. That's really boring.
I'll take all of that.
That's really boring, but nothing exciting. I'm not like a Sunday Funday person. I am not going out and drinking on a Sunday. No. I've maybe done that a handful of times in life, and I always regret it. When I was like 23, I was all about that. But
in my mid-20s, I would go and when I was living in Michigan, I would go skiing on Sundays, and skiing was just like taking 2 runs, and then going to the pub and just drinking a bunch of beers.
Yeah, no, I've never been a Sunday Funday person. I'll Saturday day drink. Well, back in the day. It's been so long.
Way back when?
Back when you could have fun.
Okay, Kayla, I already had you do this once, but I'm going to have you do it again just to drive it home.
Okay.
If people want to see your recipes and follow you, where can they do this?
Okay, so my handle on Instagram is @thebitchin chef, and then the blog is thebitchinchef.com. And if you do make anything or if you have any questions, I want people to repost, like make it, repost it, tag me. I want to see what everyone's doing. I feel like a lot of people are ashamed that like stuff isn't pretty or doesn't look a certain way, but like I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I do. It's like really, it means a lot to me. Like I get emotional when someone's like, I made this. I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe Sally and I will dip in and spend our Sunday making something that you made.
Okay, do it.
She did
Please.
just buy all that food from all the pumpkin flavored food in the world. So.
Okay, my pumpkin bread is the shit. I'm not gonna lie.
I will entertain the pumpkin bread 100%.
I won't lie.
Sally started making coffee cake that had like a hint of pumpkin in it right in the early times of quarantine, and that's when I was like, all right, I need to start actually working out every day because like I'm eating way too much of this stuff.
That's what I'm doing. But see, my pumpkin bread isn't like super like loafy and cakey. It's like super dense and almost like a custardy feel. I can't explain it. It's my mom's recipe and it's the best.
I think when it comes to breads like that, it's for me. I want someone else to be eating it too, and I want them to be like, "Wait, is this cooked all the way?" And I want to be like,
"Yes."
I want to be like, "Yes, it is." It's
I
perfect.
don't even like to cook my breads all the way either. Like my banana bread, I'm like, leave it a little doughy in the middle.
That's what my mom always does, and that's exactly
what my mom
how
does
I like
too.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kayla, thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Will. Always a pleasure.
Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll keep an eye out for more recipes.
Thank you.
If you liked what you heard today, make sure to subscribe, review, or tell a friend in need about this podcast. By subscribing, you guarantee that each and every episode gets delivered directly to your phone every Sunday morning. You can also follow along on Twitter at Sunday Scaries and Instagram, which is at Sunday.Scaries, or you can follow me both on Twitter and Instagram at WillDeFreeze. And remember, always trim the wicks on your scented candles. See you next Sunday.